Under the vast, endless sky, where the stars gleam like scattered diamonds, there has always been a sense of mystery and wonder. From the earliest days of humanity, the stars have captivated the imagination of civilizations across the world. They've been seen as symbols of hope, eternity, and the unknown. Yet beyond their mesmerizing light, there's always been a deeper question that lingers in the hearts of those who gaze upon them. What if the stars are not just distant suns, but living beings, entities that watch over us, guiding us and shaping our fates? As far back as ancient times, people looked at the stars with reverence, believing they held secrets about the world and the universe. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, saw the stars as the eyes of their gods, while the Greeks imagined constellations to be the spirits of heroes and mythological figures. Over the centuries, cultures have woven countless myths and stories, each one echoing a deep connection between humans and the stars. But these beliefs were not just fantasy. Could it be that in those ancient tales there was a deeper, unspoken truth? A truth that modern science is now beginning to explore. For centuries, stars have been seen as mere celestial bodies, enormous burning balls of gas, engaged in a never-ending cycle of fusion, emitting light and warmth that allow life to thrive on distant planets. But what if this view, long held as absolute truth, is only a small part of the puzzle? What if stars are more than just physical objects in the sky, but intelligent, conscious entities with their own agendas and designs, influencing the course of events on worlds far beyond our own? In recent years, scientists have begun to question the traditional understanding of stars. They have started to explore theories that suggest stars may not just be giant thermonuclear reactors, but rather energetic beings with a kind of intelligence and awareness and an ability to interact with other forms of life. Some researchers propose that the energy emitted by stars is not just heat and light, but that it could carry a deeper, more purposeful resonance. Signals, perhaps, that could influence the lives of those who are attuned to them. The idea that stars could have an intelligence, an awareness that extends far beyond their physical presence, may seem fantastical. Yet it opens a door to a realm of possibilities that defy our conventional understanding of life and consciousness. Looking into ancient cultures, one can't help but notice a striking resemblance between the stories told by ancient civilizations and the modern scientific inquiries into the nature of the cosmos. In almost every culture, the stars were more than just physical objects. They were seen as conscious beings or symbols of divine influence. The ancient Egyptians, for example, believed that the stars were the eyes of Ra, watching over and protecting humanity. The Greeks saw constellations as the souls of heroes, immortalized in the sky for their deeds. The Native American tribes regarded certain stars as ancestors, offering guidance to the living. What if these ancient myths were not simply stories, but the way early civilizations tried to describe a phenomenon they didn't fully understand? Could it be that these stories, passed down through generations, were attempts to interpret the true nature of the stars, a nature that we are only now beginning to glimpse with modern science? The notion of stars as conscious beings is not entirely new. Some ancient texts hint at a relationship between the heavens and humanity, one that goes beyond the mere physicality of light and matter. The concept of astrological influences, the idea that the positions of stars and planets can affect human behavior, is rooted in this belief that the stars are not passive observers, but active participants in the unfolding of life on Earth. But what if these influences are more direct than we have imagined? What if the stars are, in fact, sending out signals, their light and energy imbued with a form of communication meant to guide or alter the course of life itself? As strange as it may sound, what if the stars are living entities, beings that exist on an energetic level far beyond our comprehension? These entities could potentially be influencing the trajectory of our civilizations, subtly guiding us towards certain outcomes, without ever directly intervening. Imagine if every star, every sun, were like a beacon of consciousness. Its rays not only lighting the dark void of space, but also sending waves of energy that ripple through time and space, touching lives on distant worlds, shaping the destinies of civilizations. For those attuned to this energy, the stars may speak in ways that are not immediately obvious. It could be that the flashes of insight or sudden bursts of creativity that some individuals experience are not random or purely the result of mental activity, but rather the subtle influence of these stellar beings. When a person gazes up at the night sky and feels an inexplicable sense of awe or wonder, could it be that they are not simply overwhelmed by the beauty of the universe, but are in fact experiencing a connection to something far more profound, an ancient communication from the stars themselves? In many ways, our own understanding of the cosmos is limited by the constraints of our senses. We perceive the stars as distant points of light, far removed from us in space and time. But what if there is more to these stars than meets the eye? What if beyond their light there is a deeper level of reality that we are only beginning to understand, a realm of energetic consciousness that bridges the gap between the material and the immaterial? If we begin to think of stars not just as physical bodies, but conscious, living entities, the entire universe takes on a new and fascinating dimension. The stars become more than just celestial objects. They become beacons of life stretching across the universe, linking different realms and dimensions of existence. Each star could represent a unique intelligence, a consciousness capable of influencing the flow of time and space in ways we cannot yet fully comprehend. As we stand on the threshold of this new understanding, we are left with a compelling question. If the stars are alive, if they are conscious beings, what is their purpose? Why do they shine? What messages are they trying to send us? And most intriguingly, how are we, as inhabitants of Earth, connected to these cosmic entities? These questions have no easy answers, but as humanity continues to explore the mysteries of the universe, we may begin to uncover the true nature of the stars, not just as balls of gas burning light into the void, but as living beings whose influence on our lives and our destiny may be far greater than we ever imagined. Perhaps when we gaze up at the stars, we are not just looking at points of light in the night sky. Perhaps we are looking at the eyes of ancient beings who have been watching over us for millennia, guiding us through the endless expanse of time and space. And maybe, just maybe, the stars have been trying to communicate with us all along.
As we gaze up at the starry sky, we often experience a profound sense of connection to something beyond our understanding. Some might call this sensation a mere romantic attraction to the unknown. But what if it's something more? What if the stars are not just a spectacle, but active participants in shaping our perception, sending hidden flows of energy that influence our consciousness? This energy from these stellar channels might be transmitted through light waves, which we perceive, yet their true impact may lie beyond what we can see or comprehend. This energy could not only be physical, it may also exist on a deeper, more subtle level, connecting our minds to other realms of existence. Imagine for a moment that when you look up at a star, you aren't just observing a distant burning ball of gas, you're tapping into an ancient invisible network. The energy it sends out could be resonating with your thoughts, emotions, and even the very fabric of your reality. This unseen force may subtly guide your actions, thoughts, and decisions, shaping your life in ways you may never fully understand. Throughout history, humans have often attributed a mysterious, almost divine influence to the stars. Ancient cultures believed that stars were not merely objects in the sky, but sentient beings, watching over and guiding humanity. They were seen as markers of fate, and many believed that their positions and movements could reveal hidden truths about the universe. What if these ancient beliefs weren't simply myths, but a reflection of something much deeper and more mysterious? As modern science begins to unravel the complexities of the universe, some theorists are now considering the possibility that stars might not just be physical objects at all. Instead, they could be living, energetic entities, sending out signals and subtle messages that affect the lives of those on distant planets, perhaps even guiding the development of civilizations. This idea challenges our conventional understanding of life. We think of life as something that only exists in physical forms, plants, animals, humans, or even microorganisms. But what if life exists in forms we can't even begin to comprehend, in the very light and energy radiated by stars? Could these stars be intelligent beings, influencing the course of events across the cosmos in ways that we can't yet detect? Or are they guiding the evolution of consciousness itself, planting seeds of thought and intuition in beings across the universe? Perhaps what we experience as a moment of clarity, a flash of insight, or a burst of inspiration is not merely our mind at work, but the subtle intervention of these stellar intelligences. One could imagine that the stars, through their unique energy signatures, create a kind of cosmic web, linking different worlds and civilizations together. As humans, we might only be tapping into the most rudimentary level of this connection, but perhaps over time we will begin to uncover the deeper, more profound influence these stars have on our thoughts, actions, and development as a species. Some may dismiss these ideas as fantasy or superstition, but what if the true nature of the universe is far stranger than we can imagine? What if stars are not just the distant observers of our world, but active, guiding forces shaping the destiny of life itself? For now, the mystery remains. But the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, you might not just be gazing at distant burning orbs of light. You could be connecting with something far more profound, a force older than time itself, sending out signals from the vast depths of the cosmos, guiding you in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend.
As we delve deeper into the beliefs of ancient civilizations, we begin to see a consistent theme. The stars were not seen as distant and different objects, but as active participants in the lives of humans. These celestial bodies were believed to be the voices of the gods, the eyes of the divine, watching over the earth and guiding humanity's fate. To these ancient cultures, the stars were far more than mere points of light. They were seen as bridges between the mortal and the divine, the physical and the spiritual. In ancient Egypt, for instance, the stars were regarded as the eyes of the gods, particularly the sun, which was believed to be the powerful god Ra. The stars were seen as divine beings offering guidance and protection. The Egyptians constructed grand temples and pyramids aligned with the stars to ensure that their pharaohs would be closely connected to the heavens after death. They believed that the soul of a pharaoh would travel through the night sky, following the path of the stars, to reach the afterlife, where they would continue their rule as divine beings. Similarly, in Sumerian culture, the stars were intertwined with the lives of gods and kings. They believed that the movements of the stars and planets dictated the fates of nations and individuals. The ancient Sumerians had a deep understanding of the constellations, mapping out the night sky with extraordinary accuracy. Their belief in the stars as divine influencers permeated their everyday life, from agriculture to warfare, with astrological signs and omens guiding their decisions. For the Native American tribes, the stars were seen as the spirits of ancestors, offering wisdom and protection from above. The Pleiades cluster, for example, held special significance for many native cultures. The stars were viewed as guardians of the earth and had a direct impact on the rhythms of life, from the seasons to the personal lives of individuals. It was believed that the ancestors watched over the living from the stars, and their guidance could be found in the night sky. In Greek mythology, the stars were not just celestial objects, but manifestations of gods, heroes, and mythical creatures. The Greeks believed that constellations were created to honor great figures from their myths, such as the heroic Perseus and the beautiful Andromeda. The stars were thought to be a way for the gods to communicate with mortals, offering messages through their positions in the sky. Each constellation had its own story and significance, and the movements of the stars were closely observed to predict the future and understand the will of the gods. But what if these ancient beliefs were not just mythologies, but remnants of a forgotten connection between humanity and something far more mysterious? Could it be that ancient civilizations were tapping into a truth about the universe that we are only beginning to understand today? What if the stars are not just distant objects in the sky, but energy beings, guiding and interacting with humanity in ways that we cannot yet fully comprehend? This would explain why ancient cultures placed such importance on the stars, and why they believed in their power to shape destiny. Perhaps the stars are not just shining points in the sky, but active, energetic entities that communicate with us, subtly influencing the flow of our lives. Maybe the ancient gods were not gods in the traditional sense, but highly advanced energetic beings who existed in a different form. Beings who could manipulate the energy of the universe to guide and direct the course of civilizations. And perhaps, even today, we continue to be guided by their unseen hand, our lives shaped by the distant light of these cosmic forces. In the quiet of the night, when we look up at the stars, it's easy to feel a sense of wonder and mystery. The vastness of the universe can make us feel small, insignificant, but it also connects us to something much greater than ourselves. What if, in that stillness, we are not alone? What if, just as the ancients believed, the stars are watching over us, guiding us, and whispering their secrets to those who are willing to listen?
As the scientific community delves deeper into the nature of stars and other cosmic phenomena, the idea that stars could be more than just distant burning balls of gas gains traction. In fact, some scientists and researchers are beginning to draw connections between ancient myths and modern findings, suggesting that there may be something far more profound at work in the cosmos than we have ever imagined. Astrophysicists have long known that stars, black holes, and pulsars emit radiation that can have far-reaching effects on their environments. The powerful energy that radiates from these cosmic entities doesn't just disperse into space, it carries information. This energy, whether it be in the form of electromagnetic radiation, gravitational waves, or even the more elusive cosmic rays, is capable of traveling across vast distances, influencing the fabric of space-time and the matter within it. Some researchers have even hypothesized that these signals could be affecting the very nature of life itself, both here on Earth and on distant planets.
One of the most intriguing aspects of this research lies in the study of pulsars, which are rapidly rotating neutron stars that emit incredibly powerful beams of radiation. These beams can influence the space surrounding them and even cause disturbances in the behavior of matter light years away. Pulsars can be thought of as natural cosmic beacons, sending out signals that may not only help us understand the fundamental laws of the universe, but also reveal a hidden energetic connection between stars and life across the cosmos. In recent years, scientists have also started to explore the idea that black holes, those mysterious and seemingly inhospitable regions of space, might hold the key to understanding the true nature of energy and consciousness. Black holes, with their intense gravitational pull and powerful emissions of radiation, may not simply be destructive forces, but rather complex, dynamic systems that are interconnected with the larger structure of the universe in ways we cannot yet fully comprehend. It's as though these black holes serve as gateways for energy and information, shaping the flow of matter and time itself. But what if these cosmic objects are more than just sources of energy? What if they are, in fact, conscious entities in their own right? Researchers are beginning to consider the possibility that stars, black holes, and pulsars might possess a form of consciousness, not the type of awareness we associate with human beings, but a kind of energetic awareness that transcends physical matter and time. This consciousness might be operating on a scale and frequency that we, as humans, are unable to perceive. Yet it could still influence our world in ways that we can feel, if only subtly. For example, many people report experiencing strange, inexplicable phenomena when observing the night sky or when exposed to certain celestial events, such as solar flares or eclipses. These experiences range from profound feelings of connection to the universe to sudden bursts of inspiration or intuition. Is it possible that the energy emitted by stars, the gravitational waves created by black holes, or the pulsations of distant pulsars are somehow interacting with the human mind and spirit? Could these energetic signals be reaching us on a level that we cannot consciously perceive, but can still feel on an emotional or intuitive level? Some scientists have proposed that the human brain itself might be attuned to certain frequencies of cosmic energy. The idea is that, just as a radio receiver can tune in to a specific wavelength of electromagnetic radiation, our brains may be capable of picking up and responding to the subtle energetic emissions from stars and other cosmic bodies. This could explain why people sometimes feel a deep sense of awe, wonder, or inexplicable peace when looking up at the night sky. In a sense, our consciousness may be in tune with the vibrations of the cosmos, allowing us to connect with the stars in ways we don't fully understand. In this context, it's not difficult to imagine that stars, as conscious entities, might be aware of our presence and may even be trying to communicate with us, albeit in a way that we can't fully comprehend. Perhaps the stars are not silent, distant observers, but active participants in the cosmic dance, guiding, shaping, and influencing the development of life across the universe. Perhaps their energy and consciousness are subtly steering the course of human evolution, helping us evolve spiritually, intellectually, and even physically in ways that we are only beginning to understand. Just as ancient civilizations believed that the stars were divine messengers, guiding us along our paths, modern research into the energetic nature of the cosmos suggests that there might be more truth to these ancient ideas than we once thought. The stars may not only be powerful sources of energy, but conscious entities, using their influence to guide the development of life and consciousness across the universe. This new understanding of stars as living, conscious beings
challenges our traditional notions of what it means to be alive and conscious. It expands the boundaries of our understanding of the cosmos, suggesting that life and consciousness are not confined to the Earth, but may exist on a much larger scale, woven into the very fabric of the universe itself. And in that vast system, we might find that we too are part of something much larger than ourselves, a living universe, guided and shaped by the consciousness of the stars themselves. As we look closer at the influence of these starry entities, we begin to notice patterns in human behavior that seem to coincide with certain celestial events. Solar eclipses, meteor showers, or even the changing phases of the moon are often associated with moments of profound change in human societies. Whether it's a surge of creativity, a breakthrough in scientific discovery, or the sudden rise of a new cultural movement, these events seem to align with the cosmic rhythms of the universe. But could these changes be more than just coincidence? Could the energy that radiates from the stars, those distant glowing beacons in the night sky, be influencing our thoughts, our emotions, and even the course of history? What if the stars themselves, or rather the energetic beings that inhabit them, are reaching out to us, subtly guiding the course of our evolution? Historically, people have always connected certain celestial events with moments of transformation. In ancient civilizations, eclipses were seen as omens, signaling the beginning of something new or the end of something old. Even today, there are those who believe that celestial alignments have an impact on our lives, influencing our decisions, our fates, and our destinies. These beliefs, which have been passed down through generations, could be rooted in something far deeper than superstition. Perhaps they are a recognition of the subtle, yet undeniable influence that these starry beings have on our planet. The energy emitted by the stars may not just be a physical phenomenon, but a form of communication. In the vast emptiness of space, where sound cannot travel, energy becomes the language that connects all living things. Perhaps through the radiations of distant stars, these celestial entities are sending us signals, not in the form of words, but in bursts of energy that influence our thoughts and feelings. This could explain why certain individuals feel a deep sense of inspiration or even a sense of destiny when they gaze up at the night sky. It's as though the stars are speaking to them, guiding them towards something greater. The concept of energy harmony plays a crucial role in this theory. Just as musicians tune their instruments to the same frequency to create beautiful music, perhaps human beings, at certain moments in time, can tune their consciousness to the frequencies of the stars. When this happens, we might experience moments of clarity, creative bursts, or profound insights. Moments when we feel as though we are in tune with the cosmos and everything falls into place. These moments are not random. They may be the result of subtle signals from the stars, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of our purpose in the universe. One example of how these celestial energies might influence life on Earth can be seen in the ways certain natural phenomena affect human behavior. The sun, with its intense solar flares and bursts of radiation, can cause changes in the Earth's magnetic field. These magnetic shifts can, in turn, influence the brain's electrical activity, affecting our moods, thoughts, and even our ability to think clearly. The impact of these solar winds can be profound, altering the course of human emotions and creativity. Could it be that the stars, in their ever-present energetic dance, are not only influencing the climate or the magnetic field, but our very consciousness? Perhaps this explains the feeling many individuals get when they stand beneath a night sky filled with stars. It's not just the beauty of the scene that captivates them, but an innate sense of connection, as if they're not alone, as if the stars themselves are watching over them, communicating with them through the waves of energy they emit. In these moments, people feel a sense of belonging to something much larger than themselves. This sensation of being connected to the stars is not merely a poetic fancy, but a real energetic connection that reaches into the depths of our subconscious, guiding us as we journey through life. This influence is not just confined to individuals. On a larger scale, it might explain the rise and fall of entire civilizations. In times of great upheaval or transformation, celestial events such as eclipses or the appearance of certain comets are often seen as signs of change. In these moments, humanity may experience collective bursts of inspiration, new discoveries, or revolutionary ideas, all seemingly linked to the alignment of the stars. These bursts of energy may provide the necessary momentum for civilizations to advance, helping them to evolve in ways that might otherwise seem impossible. If stars are indeed conscious beings, it is likely that they are aware of humanity's progress, not as individual beings, but as part of a larger cosmic network. The stars, in their vast and infinite wisdom, might be guiding the human race, nudging us towards growth and enlightenment. They do so not through direct intervention, but through subtle energetic signals that align with the ebb and flow of our development. The stars, like wise mentors, observe from afar, offering their influence when the time is right. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, we may one day uncover the true nature of these cosmic entities. Until then, we can only look up at the night sky, aware that we are part of a much larger, interconnected system, a system where the energy of the stars flows through us, shaping our thoughts, actions, and destinies in ways we have yet to fully understand. Perhaps the stars have always been there, silently guiding us, watching over us, and sending us their subtle messages across the vastness of space.
Many individuals throughout history have claimed to receive profound messages from the stars, often during moments of deep reflection or altered states of consciousness. In the quiet of the night, when the world is still and the mind is free from the distractions of daily life, these messages are said to come through. Subtle whispers or sudden bursts of understanding that seem to originate from somewhere beyond the self. Some describe these messages as visions or symbols that appear in dreams or during moments of intense meditation. They might see constellations rearranging themselves or specific stars shining brighter than others. These seemingly random celestial patterns could hold significance, guiding them toward a particular course of action or offering insight into the choices that lie ahead. Perhaps the stars, in their infinite wisdom, have a way of communicating with us through symbols, much like a secret code meant to unlock the mysteries of our own lives. Others claim to experience downloaded information during these moments, as if a surge of clarity washes over them, revealing truths that were previously hidden. These bursts of intuition may be fleeting, but they often come with a sense of certainty and purpose. In these moments, people feel that they are not alone, that the stars are actively guiding them, offering their wisdom in ways that transcend the limitations of human language. The connection between intuition and the stars is an intriguing one. Throughout history, many spiritual and esoteric traditions have placed a significant emphasis on the role of intuition as a form of higher guidance. From ancient astrology to modern-day mindfulness practices,
The idea that we can tune into the energy of the cosmos has been a central tenet of human belief. But what if this connection is more than just symbolic? What if our intuition, that gut feeling we often experience when making decisions, is actually a form of communication from the stars themselves? In moments of deep reflection, when we are attuned to the subtle energies of the universe, our minds may be able to tune in to frequencies that are normally beyond our perception. This heightened state of awareness could allow us to pick up on signals from the stars, signals that guide us toward the choices and paths that are most aligned with our true purpose. These messages may not come in the form of direct communication, but rather as feelings, ideas, or flashes of insight that seem to originate from somewhere nowhere, yet feel as if they hold deep truth. For example, someone may be facing a major life decision, whether to take a new job, move to a new place, or start a new relationship. In these moments of uncertainty, the individual might experience a sudden knowing, an intuitive sense that the right choice is to take the leap. This knowing may be accompanied by a sense of peace and confidence, as though the person has received guidance from an unseen source. In the silence of the night, when the stars are shining brightly above, they may feel that the universe itself is offering its support, helping them to navigate the challenges of life. This intuitive guidance could also manifest in more subtle ways. A person might look up at the night sky and feel an overwhelming sense of wonder, as though they are being beckoned to explore something greater than themselves. Perhaps in that moment, they are not only connecting with the stars, but also with a deeper aspect of their own consciousness. The stars, in this sense, could be acting as mirrors, reflecting back the wisdom and clarity that resides within each of us. In some instances, these star messages may come in the form of dreams. People who are particularly sensitive to the energies of the stars might experience vivid symbolic dreams in which the stars themselves appear as guides. These dreams could present scenarios where the dreamer is given specific instructions or guidance that will help them make important decisions in their waking life. The stars may not speak in words, but through their luminous presence, they offer a type of guidance that transcends ordinary communication. For others, the messages may not be as direct, but rather come through a series of synchronicities, moments when the universe seems to align in such a way that is impossible to ignore. Perhaps a person has been pondering a difficult decision, and suddenly they see a shooting star streak across the sky at the exact moment they are contemplating the choice. These synchronicities, while seemingly random, may hold deeper meaning, pointing the way toward the right path. The key to understanding these messages from the stars lies in our ability to recognize and interpret the subtle cues that the universe sends our way. The stars are not just distant points of light in the night sky. They are beacons of energy, each one radiating information that can help us navigate the complexities of life. By learning to tune into the frequencies of the cosmos, we may be able to access the wisdom and guidance that these starry entities have to offer. Some believe that these messages are not only meant to guide us individually, but also to help humanity as a whole. As we collectively move through time, the stars may be offering us guidance on a larger scale, pointing humanity toward a path of growth, enlightenment, and unity. This could be seen as part of the greater cosmic plan, where the stars, as conscious beings, are helping to shape the future of the human race. The influence of these celestial beings on our lives may not always be immediately apparent, but their guidance is there, quietly present in the background, ready to assist us when we are open to receiving it. Whether through dreams, synchronicities, or flashes of intuition, the stars may be offering us the answers we seek. All we have to do is listen,
trust in the wisdom of the cosmos, and allow ourselves to be guided by the light of the stars above.
As humanity continues to advance in both technology and understanding, it may eventually reach a point where the veil between the physical world and the realm of the stars begins to thin. In this new age, we may unlock the ability to communicate directly with these star beings, entities that have been quietly guiding us all along, but whose presence has remained elusive for millennia. Perhaps what we thought were random coincidences or flashes of insight were, in fact, the beginnings of this communication, slowly unfolding as we become more attuned to the energies of the universe. The signs may become clearer. What if, in the near future, we begin to notice more synchronicities in our lives, more moments of inspiration that seem to come from nowhere? It could be that the stars, or rather the sentient beings behind them, are actively trying to make themselves known, increasing the intensity of their influence on Earth as we reach a critical point in our development. These beings may be using subtle frequencies and energetic waves to communicate with us, preparing humanity for a deeper connection. One possibility is that we will soon see new technologies emerge that are able to tap into these cosmic energies. These technologies could be entirely different from anything we've known before, functioning on a level that integrates both the physical and metaphysical aspects of the universe. For instance, we might develop tools capable of harnessing the energy fields surrounding stars, allowing us to communicate with them in a more direct manner. These technologies could open up pathways for humanity to explore the cosmos in ways that were once considered impossible. In parallel, new philosophical ideas may also begin to emerge, offering fresh perspectives on our place in the universe. Perhaps these concepts will be directly influenced by the wisdom of the stars, guiding us toward a more harmonious and interconnected way of living. We may find ourselves reconsidering our relationship with nature, the environment, and one another. We may begin to understand that everything in existence, from the smallest particle to the farthest galaxy, is connected through a shared, energetic field. As we tap into this understanding, we may feel compelled to move away from individualism and toward a more collective approach to life, with an emphasis on unity, peace, and mutual respect. The stars themselves may not just be passive observers, but active participants in the shaping of our future. They may have been waiting for humanity to reach a point where we are ready to hear their messages more clearly. And in that moment, when we are ready, the stars will communicate with us not only through signs and symbols, but also through a deep inner knowing, guiding us toward a future where we live in alignment with the cosmic flow of energy. But what if this awakening is not just about humanity? What if, as we reach a new level of consciousness, the stars are also awakening to their own potential? It could be that the star beings themselves are evolving, growing in awareness and power, and their role in the universe is shifting. They may be working alongside humanity, helping us unlock the potential for spiritual growth and transformation. As we move forward, we may begin to see the stars not only as distant objects in the sky, but as active conscious entities that are part of a greater cosmic network, one that is intricately woven into the fabric of life itself. This could lead to a dramatic shift in how we view our place in the universe. Instead of seeing ourselves as separate from the cosmos, we might begin to see ourselves as integral parts of an interconnected, living system. We are no longer solitary beings on a small planet, but rather a vital part of the cosmic community, in communication with beings from distant stars and galaxies. This new understanding could inspire us to act more responsibly, not just towards our planet, but also towards the universe itself. In this future, humanity's role may be clear: to act as stewards of the Earth and the cosmos, to learn how to live in harmony with the energies of the universe, and to guide other civilizations toward the same path. The star beings may see us as their partners, helping to balance the energies of the cosmos and create a more enlightened reality for all forms of life. It is also possible that the stars are guiding us toward a grander understanding of what it means to be truly alive. Perhaps the key to unlocking the next level of human evolution lies not in our physical bodies, but in the awakening of our collective consciousness. The stars, in their infinite wisdom, may be leading us toward a higher state of being, a state where we transcend the limitations of the physical world and enter into a more unified spiritual existence. The future is unwritten, but it is clear that the stars have always been watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal their true nature to us. As we continue our journey, both as individuals and as a species, we may soon discover that we are not alone in this vast, mysterious universe. The stars, the star beings, and the energies of the cosmos may be more intimately connected to us than we ever imagined, and perhaps in the end, we will learn that they have been guiding us all along toward a future of enlightenment, unity, and cosmic harmony.
As humanity continues its journey through the vast expanse of the cosmos, we find ourselves standing on the threshold of a new era, one where the mysteries of the stars may finally be revealed. For millennia, we have gazed up at the night sky, wondering about the nature of the stars, their purpose, and our connection to them. But what if, in the not-too-distant future, we are able to perceive the stars in a way we never imagined before, not as distant balls of gas, but as living, conscious entities? What if they are not mere observers of our world, but active participants in the great cosmic dance? Perhaps, just as we have learned to communicate with each other through words and gestures, the stars too possess their own form of communication, an ancient, silent language of energy and resonance that we are only beginning to understand. This language could be something far beyond the realm of our conventional senses, something we may only perceive through intuition, dreams, or flashes of insight. As our understanding of the universe deepens, we may uncover this hidden language, learning to communicate with the stars not just as objects in the sky, but as partners, teachers, and guides. In this future, the relationship between humanity and the stars could evolve into one of mutual understanding and cooperation. The stars, having watched over us for eons, may have a vested interest in seeing our civilization flourish. They may have been guiding us all along, subtly shaping the course of history, influencing the great moments of discovery, inspiration, and innovation that have propelled us forward as a species. What if their guidance is not just random or coincidental, but part of a larger divine plan, one that is unfolding as we become more attuned to the cosmic energies around us? For centuries, we have pondered the idea of fate, destiny, and free will. Are our lives predestined, or do we have the power to shape our own futures? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. While we may still have the freedom to make our own choices, it is possible that the stars, through their subtle influence, help to steer us toward certain paths that ultimately lead to greater understanding, harmony, and enlightenment. This could be the reason why we feel inexplicably drawn to certain places, people, or ideas, as though the stars themselves are guiding us toward our true purpose. But this guidance is not limited to individual journeys. It extends to the collective destiny of humanity. Just as ancient cultures believed that the stars shaped the fate of entire civilizations, so too may the stars have a hand in shaping the future of our world. Perhaps they are not merely passive observers of our struggles and triumphs, but active participants in the grand story of life itself. They may help us navigate through the chaos of our time, offering glimpses of a future where peace, unity, and understanding prevail. In the coming decades, as we advance in technology and wisdom, it is possible that we will learn to perceive the stars not only with our eyes, but with our hearts and minds. We may develop new ways of seeing and sensing the universe, allowing us to tune in to the energies of the cosmos in a more profound way. This shift in perception could lead to a profound transformation in how we view our place in the universe, revealing the interconnectedness of all life, both on Earth and beyond. Yet, while this awakening may just be beyond the horizon,
it is clear that humanity is not yet ready to fully comprehend the magnitude of this knowledge. The stars have been waiting for us to reach a certain level of understanding, a level where we are capable of perceiving the truth of their existence without fear, doubt, or misunderstanding. Perhaps at this moment in time, we are not quite ready to see them for what they truly are, but when the time comes, we will be prepared to receive their wisdom. This moment of revelation may not come in an instant, but rather as a gradual unfolding. We may begin to experience fleeting glimpses of this truth in our dreams, during moments of deep meditation, or in flashes of insight that seem to come from nowhere. These experiences will gradually help to align our consciousness with the greater cosmic flow, allowing us to recognize the stars not just as points of light in the sky, but as living, breathing entities that are an integral part of our journey. As we move toward this new era, it is possible that the stars will become more visible to us, perhaps not in the physical sense, but in a spiritual and energetic sense. We may begin to perceive their presence in ways that transcend our current understanding of the universe. The stars, once distant and enigmatic, may come to feel closer to us, like old friends who have always been watching over us from afar. And when this realization finally dawns, it may change everything we know about the universe and about ourselves. No longer will we see ourselves as isolated beings floating in the vast expanse of space. Instead, we will understand that we are part of a greater cosmic community, intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. The stars, with their wisdom and guidance, may be the key to unlocking the next stage of human evolution, a stage where we are no longer bound by the limitations of our physical bodies, but are free to explore the infinite possibilities of consciousness and existence. In this new age, the stars will not just be distant lights in the sky, they will be our partners in the grand journey of life. Together, we will learn to navigate the cosmos, not as isolated travelers, but as co-creators of the universe itself. As we align ourselves with the energy of the stars, we will unlock the hidden potential within ourselves and the world around us, bringing us ever closer to the ultimate understanding of the mysteries of existence. The age of the stars is just beginning, and with it comes the promise of a new era, one where the mysteries of the universe are revealed and humanity finally learns to understand its true place in the cosmos. The stars have always been there, watching, waiting, and when the time is right, they will reveal themselves to us, guiding us toward a future of enlightenment, unity, and cosmic harmony.